Hello, everybody. Today I'll share with you what I know about reactive oxygen species, and I'll show you two studies. But first, let's look at this video together for some context. So, what is this reactive oxygen species thing?
ROS. This would probably come up if you're reading some of the studies relating to Alzheimer's or the benefits of ketosis. You might see ROS come up, and I just wanted to find it because it can be a little confusing, and in reality, it's pretty simple. ROS stands for Reactive Oxygen Species. Now, what the heck does that mean? So, ROS can either be a free radical or a non-free radical involving oxygen. So this kind of, let's back up. What is a free radical? A normal atom has paired electrons. So if you have something that's paired, if you just kind of envision it like a little disk and two little weights on the outside that spin, it's going to be very symmetrical. Nothing's going to happen. It's real nice and smooth. But if you take one of those electrons out and you have an unpaired electron and it starts to spin or move, it can really be a radical and move in a radical way and create destruction because it does not have a paired electron.
So, we're already kind of starting to sound like dog culture, huh? Destruction, unbalanced.
Okay, so free radicals tend to destroy things. Now, the body makes ROS. Also, ROS can be generated from the environment as well, coming into the body. But the question is, why?
Okay, generated from the environment. A little bit later in this video, I'll show you something that explains a little bit more of that. It's called xenobiotics.
Why would your body make something that's destructive? That's the question. And this will help you understand what it is. Well, there is a natural process, a natural programmed cell death in the body. It's called apoptosis. And apoptosis is a condition where your body is actually killing off certain cells. Now, you might say, well, that's a bad thing, but actually, it's essential for life, okay? Because your body has this urge to survive, so it's looking at the greater good. If there's certain cells that are mutated, altered, they're dysfunctional.
Mutated, altered, and dysfunctional. Doesn't that sound like dogs? Mutants, pedigrees, dysfunctional.
Then the body has to get rid of them. And that's when it produces ROS. So ROS has the ability to eliminate certain things that we don't want in the body. And if that involves killing off certain mitochondria or whatever, that's a good thing. So even your white blood cells produce these to actually kill off microbes. That's how it dismantles certain viruses. So your body has this interesting balance between free radicals or oxidants and antioxidants. So your body can make antioxidants as well, and you can get them environmentally. So you have this whole balance that happens in the body. So whether you're exposed to a certain stress, we call it oxidative stress. So let's say you had a certain metal in your body from iron, and that created a mutation in your mitochondria. Well, your body would produce this to get rid of that. The body.
You see, your body doesn't like mutations because mutations, uh, they will kill your body. They will slowly mess up other things in your body. So your body's ROS works to do this.
Does not want mutated cells. Exposure to chemicals.
Yeah, your body does not want mutated cells, and humanity brings in mutants, dogs, and those mutants end up killing us.
The radiation that would come from external or exercise produces higher levels of ROS to actually kill off the damaged muscle cells that need to be replaced. And it's replaced by the stem cell, so it actually just grows back. Hypoxia, decreased oxygen, pollution, smoking, infection. So your body is constantly cleaning all this stuff up and replacing it. So this is a real positive thing.
Okay, so this system in your body, it depends on your environment, what you're breathing in, and it's getting rid of the bad cells. However, if your body is out of balance, this system, the reactive oxygen species, it can start tearing up the wrong cells in your body. So now we're going to look at the study called Mechanism and Consequences of Oxygen and Carbon Dioxide Sensing in Mammals. So when you have extra CO2, this messes with the reactive oxygen species system in your body, and it creates more reactive oxygen species. So we have a pretty long and in-depth study, but here is the summary of part of it. Oxygen and carbon dioxide are primary gaseous substrate and a product of oxidative metabolism in all human cells. Variation in the levels of these gases outside the physiological range can lead to pathological conditions, hypoxia, hypercapnia, which grave threats to health. Because of this, cells and tissues have evolved mechanisms to change in microenvironmental oxygen and carbon dioxide levels and elicit adaptive responses to varying levels of homeostasis. These responses can be rapid or chronic in nature and provide a pivotal homeostasis control. In this review, we discussed the nature of oxygen and carbon dioxide sensing in human cells. So this study shows that elevated CO2 levels can cause ROS, reactive oxygen species. Due to the pathological threat of conditions such as hypoxia and hypercapnia, it's vital that these gases are constantly maintained within the range. So when your body senses something's not right with these gases, this study talks about all the different effects. You have higher heart rate, higher breathing rate. It affects your brain. It affects a lot of stuff, a lot of adaptive responses that you're supposed to do. Basically, you're supposed to get out of there. So let me just scroll down and show you some of the stuff it talks about. So here's some of the effects of this O2 and CO2 imbalance. Your medulla oblongata, all of these parts of your brain, the cerebellum, your glial cells, all of these parts of your body are having to do some sort of work to fix this type of stuff. Your nervous system, your endocrine system, they all have to work harder, and they're sending you signals essentially telling you that you need to go somewhere, you need to move around, you need to change to get out of the problem. So now I'm going to share another study. It's called Olfactory Carbon Dioxide Detection by Insects and Other Mammals. So mammals have all types of CO2 responses. This is just kind of like a companion study if you want to learn some more about what goes on in your body when you're getting more and more CO2 in your environment. And at the end of the day, it just means more stress. Also, though, notice that insects and nematodes. So insects and nematodes are attracted to CO2 because that means there's a mammal there. And the more CO2 that it detects, that's a more stressed out mammal, which is even easier target for these insects and nematodes. So what the heck's a nematode? Well, it's these worms that all the dogs have on their bodies. Hookworms that get in your feet on the beaches, tapeworms, and other types of worms. Just a little CDC snip right here, but here's some of these nematodes. They come from feces, and they can get into the human body. They can get into your microbiome in your gut and stuff. But the more CO2 that you have in your environment, the more that these little nematodes are like, hey, let's go over there and get into the mouth of the human. So now I got another study to show you called Defining Reactive Oxygen Species in Biology and Medicine. So this further explains how these reactive oxygen species can tear up your body and cause other problems when this balance is chronically upset. So something that can cause reactive oxygen species is xenobiotics. So what's a xenobiotic? Xenobiotic is a component that is not a natural component of a particular organism or biological system. So when you breathe in all of those secretions off of your dog, the feces particles, the ultra microscopic particles that are getting sucked into your body, those are xenobiotic particles that can screw up your reactive oxygen species, basically making your body kill cells that it's not supposed to. Here's a little picture from the study. So we have our reactive oxygen species in our body, and then we have our antioxidants, and that's homeostasis. So the body produces some of those to do the apoptosis like Dr. Berg was talking about. However, if you have increased reactive oxygen species, which could come from breathing extra CO2, it could come from the xenobiotics from your dog, now you're getting oxidative stress because you have increased reactive oxidation. You're breathing in extra CO2, chronically your heart rate is up. Okay, what about this little one over here? You have increased reactive oxygen species and decreased antioxidants, and that's even worse. You get oxidative stress again. And how can your antioxidants become depleted? Well, you need those antioxidants to fight off some of those xenobiotics that you're sucking in from your dog. All the feces particles, all the micro-sized dander particles, your body needs antioxidants to fight those off. So the presence of the dog can lead to oxidative stress. Over here it says decreased antioxidants. Again, you got, the oxidative stress. So bringing in all that CO2 in your body, bringing in the xenobiotics from the dog, can cause your reactive oxygen species system in your body to get screwed up, and you can have all of this oxidative stress. So one last study I'll put in here that you guys can look at: oxidative stress and the cardiovascular effects of air pollution. One of the air pollutants that cause this oxidative stress, I'm just showing you this to show you that CO2 is, you can quickly and easily find how it's related to increased oxidative stress. So CO2 is one of the ones they mention. CO2 is considered air pollution. So it's basically air pollution because it makes your body work harder. It's a volatile organic compound, and when it goes into your body senses that in hundreds of different ways. And if you're making your body do all of those little tiny works and all those little things, your body has to work harder, which means oxidative stress. This oxidative stress even affects fetal development, the embryo. So your human baby inside of you and your body are very sensitive to the proper balance. So that has been a look at how having a dog present in your house or life can bring xenobiotics, excessive CO2, and it's already been proven variation in the levels of these gases. It can lead to grave threats to health, pathological conditions. And all the studies will be in the description. Hope you liked the video, and see you guys in the next one. Later.